Well, I'm so sorry. It seems you had quite the misunderstanding. I have zero, perhaps even negative interest in the opposite sex. And of course, Miku and I are just friends, completely platonic.
Yeah, exactly. Just friends.
Hold it in, don't laugh, stay cool. My name is Keisuke Kojima. I'm a 30-year-old average salary man. This is the strange story of the unusual and chaotic divorce between my wife and I. I got married to my wife Miku, who's the same age as me, about 3 years ago. We were introduced to each other through a mutual friend, and embarrassingly enough, it was love at first sight for me. Apparently, she was also seeking a partner for marriage, and so we dove into a relationship pretty much straight away. 1 year after dating, we got married and we moved into a company apartment together. And Miku became a full-time housewife, taking care of everything around the house. In the beginning, everything was idyllic and we were totally in love as newlyweds. But as time went on, 2 years into our married lives, it feels like we've transitioned from lovers into family, if that makes any sense. That being said, my love for Miku never changed. I was even starting to want children with her, but hey, I think it's about time we start thinking about children, but seriously, what do you think?
I hear you, but I want to spend a little more time enjoying our married life as just the two of us.
I see. I understand. Well, that's fair, and I can wait until you feel ready. This is what Miku said, and the conversation hasn't progressed. On top of that, she said she wants to enjoy our married life as just the two of us, but it's been over 6 months since we've had any interaction that would suggest so. I mean, I guess it can be hard to get in the mood, but I hear it's not that rare for married couples to be celibate. It was tough, but I figured if I kept on patiently trying, maybe someday it'll happen. A little while passed in this sad marriage situation when I came home from a 3-day, 2-night business trip. I'm home! Wait, is no one home? I had told Miku that I'd be back today, but no one was home. I thought she might be out shopping or running errands, but I suddenly realized that wasn't the case as soon as I looked into the living room. That was because when I looked at the living room table, there were some papers neatly laid out for me to see. They were divorce papers. I just saw what you left out on the living room table. Is this what you want?
Yes, well, there's not much for me to say then. That's that.
But we need to talk about this.
No, stop that. There's nothing more for us to talk about.
What?
I know it's sudden, and it might be hard for you to accept right now, but I'm sure you also realize that things haven't been going well between us for a long time now. It would be best for us to reset our lives and go our separate ways. So please, don't make this any harder than it needs to be, and keep dragging me along.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I think you're misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
It's not like I just signed the papers and we turn them in and then we're done just like that. You do realize that we need to discuss how our assets will be divided and a settlement fee, and there's a lot that we need to talk about.
Okay, I see what you mean, but...
Anyway, I'm going to start preparing a lawyer, and I think that you should probably do the same.
Wait a second, why are you taking this so lightly? Isn't there anything else you want to say?
What are you complaining about? You're the one that served the divorce papers like this.
Yeah, but why are you just able to accept this within seconds? I'm sure you want to ask for a reason, or what went wrong, and things like that.
I'm confused. What do you want? I thought you wanted to get a divorce.
Well, yeah, I do, but your reaction is a little disappointing. I thought you might be more upset about it.
Oh, did you expect me to come crying after you and beg you not to leave? Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. If anything, I'm actually grateful.
Grateful?
Yeah. You brought this up first, so I didn't have to. I wasn't trying to be stubborn or act tough. I was genuinely happy to get a divorce and definitely agreed. Yes! I can't believe she said it first! How lucky! Oh, it's time to celebrate! Maybe I'll even open a bottle of champagne! To tell the truth, I'd been thinking about suggesting a divorce for a while now. But of course I felt bad that it wasn't such an easy thing to say, so I truly was grateful that she felt the same way and brought it up first. The reason for that goes back to about a month ago. At the time, I was also on a business trip, and while I was away, I sent my wife this message. Hey, good news! I'm actually going to be coming back tonight!
Oh, really? I thought you were supposed to come back tomorrow.
That was according to the schedule, but we were finishing our work early, so I should be able to get back tonight.
I see. Well then why don't you relax a little bit and enjoy your time there a little longer?
I thought about that, but I decided to come back early so I could see you. We never get out to eat much, so why don't we go out for dinner tonight? If I get on the bullet train right now, I can be there around 7 p.m.?
That does sound nice, and I would really love to, but I'm actually out right now, so...
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. Are you also going to eat while you're out?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm catching up with Kaneko for the first time in a while. I'm also out shopping right now, too.
I see. Well, that's unfortunate, but no problem.
I'm sorry. That would have been nice, but maybe another time.
No worries at all. You should enjoy your girls' night. I know it's been a while.
Thanks. I think I'll be coming back pretty late, so you can head to bed first.
Alright. You and Kaneko do really get along well, don't you?
Yeah, we're really close. We've been friends for such a long time, too.
Is it just the two of you tonight?
Yeah, of course. It always is. Why do you ask? What's the matter?
No, nothing. Just curious.
That was weird. You must be exhausted after your business trip.
Yeah, I guess I am. When I get home, I'm gonna try to get to bed early tonight.
Alright, get home safe. Good night.
This woman named Kaneko that my wife was talking about was her friend from back in grade school. I had met her before as well, and she even attended our wedding. My wife hangs out with her a lot, and she would always come over to our house with gifts in hand. She was a kind and bred woman who I was happy for my wife to be friends with. It wasn't unusual for them to be hanging out while I was away on a business trip. However, the reason why it felt suspicious this time was because a few days ago I'd actually run into Kaneko by the train station, and the same day I was leaving for my business trip, she told me that she was going to be on a family vacation. Well, I figured that they must have had a change of plans, and it wasn't really a big deal, but I still felt pretty uneasy about it. So I went online to see if I could find Kaneko on social media, and when I had a look, that's weird. It looks like she's right in the middle of enjoying her family vacation. On Kaneko's social media, she had posted a photo of herself and her husband having fun at a tourist attraction far away. That could only mean that the person my wife was hanging out with was not Kaneko, her friend, but must be. I got home from my business trip, and in the empty house, I could only think of one possibility. I can't be for sure, so maybe I'll hire a detective. It was the first thought I had, so I went straight online and asked the first detective I found to conduct an investigation. In about 3 days, he got back to me with the results.
It's, just as you expected. It looks like she's having an affair.
Yeah, that makes sense. I may have deduced it by myself already, but to hear the confirmation still came as a shock to me. I didn't think that she would have a change of heart like this so soon after getting married. At the same time, I was overcome with anger towards my wife. Well, in this case, I'd like to ask for a routine investigation. Would it be possible for you to collect more evidence in my favor? The detective agreed, and it was even more than what I had expected. The evidence came flooding in. I couldn't believe how often she'd been cheating on me. But I also realized that the fact that I didn't notice must have meant that I wasn't paying enough attention to her either. Even then, it wasn't an excuse for her to have an affair. I had the detective continue his investigation for a few more weeks. And right around the time I'd collected enough solid evidence, my wife had brought forth the divorce papers. It was perfect timing. And so that's what led me up to today. I opened up a bottle of champagne by myself here to celebrate, when I got a message from none other than Miku herself.
Well, have you calmed down a bit now?
What do you mean? I've been calm since the beginning.
Earlier, when we were chatting, you seemed pretty desperate, so I wanted to check back in. So I didn't think we could have a proper conversation if you were going to be like that.
Desperate? Me? I see now. That's how you were interpreting my messages earlier.
I know you're sad and feeling heartbroken, but you need to take a good hard look at reality too.
No. I think you're the one that needs to take a good look at reality. Anyway, I'm definitely agreeing to the divorce, don't worry. I've already signed the paperwork and I have it sealed with my stamp as well.
Why are you acting so weird? Why are you so happy about getting a divorce?
Isn't it obvious? I no longer have to be attached to a woman who's been going behind my back and cheating on me. Of course I'm happy about that.
Stop that. Just because you're upset about the divorce, stop accusing me of such nonsense.
Once again, why are you interpreting things like that just to make yourself look good? You've been cheating on me with a man named Makoto Takami. I believe he's around 40 years old, right? Yeah, that's right. I've got some good photos of the two of you, so I'll send them right over.
Where'd you get these?
I hired a detective, I had him do some digging. I knew that you'd been having an affair long before I even went on this business trip.
This is a misunderstanding. It's not what it looks like. It's not an affair.
Even though I have photos of you two coming in and out of love hotels, if you don't recall, I'd be happy to refresh your memory with those too.
Stop! Just stop that already. Let's just meet and talk about it, okay? I'll come home tomorrow and we can have a conversation as two adults.
Talk about it? Weren't you the one that said we have nothing to talk about? Or have you just realized that you're at a disadvantage here and now you're the one who's desperate? Just moments ago, she was saying that we had nothing more to talk about, and now she had had done a full 180, and I couldn't help but laugh. But I could agree that it wasn't going to be settled over messages, so we decided to meet and speak face to face. The next day, my wife came home alone, but this time her attitude had changed once again.
I thought about it, and I think I acted too hastily. So, I think we can work through this together, and find a way for us to fix things.
The moment she realized that she had lost the upper hand, this is how she acts. With this pathetic behavior, I couldn't even be angry anymore. I was just ready to get it over with. You know that you have no right to be saying that at this point. Even if you wanted to take it back, then I'll go ahead and declare it right back at you. I want to get a divorce.
Please, just hear me out. I can explain.
And why should I have to listen to a cheater when I have all this proof of your affair?
No, you're wrong. That person is just a friend.
Ah, yes, that's what they call a friend with benefits, right? I see you're still young, even though you seem to have no interest in doing any of that with me.
No, please believe me. You're wrong. We may have gone to the hotels together, but nothing happened.
An excuse like that? Not even a middle schooler would fall for it.
It was a girls' night. You know, one of those love hotel girls' night.
Girls' night? No matter which way you look at it, this man isn't a girl.
He may look like a man, but in his heart, he's a woman.
Huh?
Makoto identifies as a woman, so he has no interest in the opposite sex.
My wife started to reach for whatever excuse she could. Of course, it only sounded like desperation to me. That being said, it wasn't 100% out of the question, I guess. I knew that with the evidence I'd collected, I would easily win in the court, but I started to feel like I needed to take full advantage of this situation. Alright then, let me meet this trans friend of yours.
Sure, fine. I'll bring them over tomorrow.
I was looking forward to my wife's final, useless, and desperate attempt to save herself. Lo and behold, the next day.
Nice to meet you, honey. My name is Makoto. You see, I met Miku at the gay bar a few weeks ago.
This middle-aged man who had a strong build and looked extremely masculine came wiggling toward me. This was the person that I'd seen in the photos and my wife's supposed affair partner, the 40-year-old man Makoto Takemi.
Well, I'm so sorry. It seems you had quite the misunderstanding. I have zero, perhaps even negative interest in the opposite sex. And of course, Miku and I are just friends, completely platonic.
Yeah, exactly. Just friends.
Hold it in, don't laugh, stay cool. It looked like they were both desperate to make this lie pass, and somehow convinced me that Makoto was in fact not a straight man. I, on the other hand, being a straight man, wasn't well versed in minority groups or the LGBTQ+ community. But that doesn't mean that they can use them as an excuse like this. Regardless of their sexual orientation or how good of friends they might be, I don't see any reason why this person would need to go out into a love hotel with a married woman. If anything, if they're just good friends, they shouldn't need to go to a love hotel to hang out. I was gritting my teeth trying to contain my laughter. Look, I'm sorry that you've been put in this situation where you even have to put on such a ridiculous act. It feels silly to even say this, but I actually do feel sorry for you.
It's not an act. I'm very much queer and I identify as a woman.
It was getting too ridiculous and I'd had enough. So I laid out the final card on the table. Well then, can you please explain this? I pulled out my phone and showed them a video that I'd received. That video was of the two people sitting right in front of me. This Mr. Makoto and my wife Miku going right at it, and quite passionately at that. It was all caught on camera, a full-on frickin' sex tape.
What? What is this? What is this?
It turns out that my wife didn't know about this sex tape. But that's not all surprising, since most people wouldn't willingly videotape themselves butt naked and going at it for the world to see. Makoto, who had been acting feminine and wiggling around in his seat, had lost all color from his face and was now as pale as a ghost, now shaken in his seat. When the detective was doing his research, he just so happened to stumble across this video online. Makoto Takemi, you've been uploading these videos onto subscription sites and earning some money off of them, isn't that right? In the video, neither of their faces are blurred or hidden, so it was the most undeniable evidence of their affair in broad daylight. If my wife had just honestly admitted to the affair from the start, I wasn't planning on bringing up such an embarrassing video. But since she was so desperately trying to fight back, I lost all sympathy and just let it rip. They had both run out of excuses, and Makoto had completely deflated. My wife, on the other hand...
What have you done? How dare you? How could you? You ruined my life!
No, I'm sorry!
She grabbed Motoko by the collar and the two of them got into a full-on fight. To watch my wife fight like two dogs in a cage with the person that she was having an affair with right in front of my eyes, life sure is strange. I'll let you two sort out your issues between yourselves, but I'll be moving forward with our divorce arrangements. From here on, I'll be contacting you through my lawyer, so please get out immediately.
Wait a second! The divorce hasn't been finalized yet, so this is still my house. I still should have a right to live here.
How much worse can this get? Fine, I'll give you 1 day to gather your belongings. If you don't leave by tomorrow, I'll be reaching out to your parents about this and explain to them everything. Miku burst into tears, and next to her, Makoto was muttering something under his breath as he stared off into the distance. The both of them were so helpless that I had to call my lawyer to get Makoto out of my house and Miku to start moving. The next day, my soon-to-be ex-wife was still complaining that she didn't want to leave the house. So I did as I was promised, and I called her parents to have her forcefully taken back to their house. After all this commotion, the divorce was finalized, with me having the obvious upper hand. Of course, with all the evidence I'd gathered, I was easily able to collect a settlement fee from both my ex-wife and her cheating partner. On top of that, when I had her parents to come and get her, I explained the entire situation to them in detail. They were quick to disown her, and she was forced to move into a tiny, cheap apartment. However, my ex-wife was never one to sit back down and let someone walk all over her. So she took out a loan to hire a lawyer and took Makoto to court for filming and posting such a private video online. In the end, she was able to sue him and squeeze out just enough money to cover the settlement fee that she owed me. To be fair, she was also a victim in that regard, and since she was able to pay me what she owed me, it was all fine for me. Afterwards, I heard from my lawyer that Makoto actually had his own fiancé that wasn't even Miku. She came from a wealthy family and was still single by choice at 35. But he had used whatever tactics he could to win her over. He had gotten so close enough to hitting the jackpot that I could understand why he was trying to stay out of any trouble, even going so far as to act like he was gay. However, he was sued from my side for a settlement fee and had been taken to court and gotten in a big battle with Miku. There was no way that his fiancé didn't hear about any of this, so I'm sure that won't be lasting much longer either. After a few months, I got a message from my ex-wife Miku after not hearing from her after the divorce.
Keisuke, hi, it's been a while.
I'm sorry, who is this? I don't have this number saved anymore.
It's me, your beloved wife Miku. How are you?
I got chills when I saw the message. I'd blocked her number a long time ago, and ever since I'd gotten a new phone, I had changed both my phone number and my messaging accounts. How did you know my messenger ID? Ever since the day the divorce was finalized, I'd blocked you in all accounts.
In addition to my day job, I'm actually working at a hostess club at night, and your friend Tanaka came by the other day. Beside you, he has also introduced to me back when I was single, and you also know him, right?
Yeah, he sounds vaguely familiar.
Tanaka said that he happens to be in a different group chat with you, so I had him find your account ID and asked him for it.
I've barely been in contact with this Tanaka guy, and the group chat that she was talking about was because the friend who introduced me to Miko in the beginning felt bad for what had happened. He felt responsible for the marriage falling apart, so he had made a new group chat to introduce me to other single people. I was happy to be single for a while, and I didn't want to jump into anything new, but before I knew it, he had included me in the group, so I reluctantly joined, although I haven't really been active in it at all. Now I deeply regret ever accepting the invite. I never would have thought that a group chat like that would lead to being reconnected with my ex-wife. Okay, do you not understand that I want nothing to do with you anymore? Can't you see that I've done everything I can to make sure we don't ever have any contact ever again?
Wait, please, will you just hear me out? I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant with your child.
Huh?
I'm 6 months pregnant now.
6 months?
If I calculate back 6 months, it lines up the most with the last time we did it. You see? This is fate. It's all meant to be. So please, let's get remarried. We can have the happy family that we always dreamed of, that you always said you wanted.
You really are good at twisting reality to suit your ideal scenarios. I'm not sure what planet you're living on. It's been 4 months since our divorce was finalized, and even before we had started the process, you and I hadn't slept together in well over 6 months. No matter how you think about it or try to twist this, your calculation just doesn't make any sense.
No, but wait.
I don't even know if you're actually pregnant or if you're lying about that too, but either way, it's clear that this pregnancy is a result of your affair. That's what lines up the most. You're barking up the wrong tree here by trying to get in touch with me.
Wait, please! Please don't leave me like this! Don't throw me away! I need you!
You're the one who betrayed me and left me in the first place. You threw us away first. So please don't contact me ever again. Goodbye. And I blocked Miku for the second time, hopefully for good. I also sent Tanaka a harsh message for freely giving her my contact without speaking to me about it. By sharing my personal information without my permission, it caused me emotional and mental stress, which I could easily sue him for and win. He was quick to take responsibility and genuinely apologize to me, so this time I said I would let it slide. Just to avoid anything like this ever happening again, I sent all of our mutual friends and acquaintances a message explaining the situation and to please keep my contact info private, especially from Miku. They all promised not to let her get in touch with me again. There were even some people who were shocked about what happened and said that they would be cutting ties with her. When I thought about how she was going to become even more alone and ostracized, I hate to say it, but it made my heart jump a little. I also decided to leave the singles group chat too. I really want to avoid any relationships for the time being and focus on rebuilding my life. And if the day does come where I meet a partner that I want to marry, I'm going to be careful not to jump so quickly to get married again. I want to make sure that I really can get to know the other person first, their ins and their outs and everything in between. For now, I'm going to put my all into my work, and my goal is to earn a lot so that I'm ready for the day that I can have a family.